King of dad jokes, Scott Calvin is a spotlight-hogging seller of toys who accidentally murders Santa Claus and assumes his identity. But how is he as a dad? This is Dad Grades, the Santa Claus. Nothing is more important to Scott than his job, not even his son on Christmas. After staying too long at his office holiday party, Scott proves his lying is about as good as his parenting.
You wouldn't believe the traffic out here.
He arrives home late on Christmas Eve, which seems to be one of the few times a year that he sees his son Charlie, to find out that Charlie no longer believes in Santa Claus, thanks in part to Neil, his ex-wife's therapist boyfriend, who Charlie clearly likes better than Scott.
I think if we're going to destroy our son's illusions, I should be a part of it.
Charlie is not excited about spending time with his dad and wants it over as soon as possible.
We're talking sun-up, you're here?
When Scott ruins Christmas dinner, they end up in the sad single dad section of Denny's, where there is little holiday spirit.
This is nice.
Back at home, Scott pretends to read The Night Before Christmas and then gets annoyed by his kid being a kid. Awakened by a noise on the roof, Scott finally goes into dad mode and kills a home intruder. Yes, it's by accident, and whoops, it's Santa.
You killed him!
Did not.
Instead of calling the cops, Scott follows Charlie onto a slippery roof that just caused someone to die. Charlie then guilts his dad into putting on a dead guy's suit.
How come everything I want to do is stupid?
And Scott spends the rest of the night breaking and entering through strangers' chimneys because, could you say no to that face? Finally, they end up in the North Pole, where Bernard, the head elf, breaks the news to Scott why they chose the title of the movie.
You read the card, you put on a suit that clearly falls under the Santa Claus, and now you're Santa, okay?
At least until someone accidentally or purposefully murders him. Charlie thinks it's real cool and seems to forgive his dad for everything bad he's ever done.
Did you have a good time?
Great time, so fit!
After all, he's Santa, and who could be mad at Santa? Oh, that's right. All the adults back in the real world, including his mom, who thinks both Scott and Charlie are going crazy. Because they should think that, because this is crazy.
I think it's safe to say you're taking the Santa thing to an unhealthy level.
Scott's whole life has gone down the toilet. But hey, his kid loves him now, even though he's not legally able to see him unsupervised. But he is becoming a good person, maybe. Before you know it, another year has gone by and it's time for another father-son bonding experience. Unfortunately, Scott's not legally able to do that, so he kidnaps Charlie.
Charlie!
Finally, someone calls the cops. Scott, Santa, gets arrested and kids are pissed.
Let him go! Let Santa go!
Charlie busts him out of jail, only to find out that now when he finally likes his dad, he has to share him with the entire world because no matter who Scott is, work comes first.
Got a lot of work to do.
This is really gonna mess Charlie up in the sequels, but let's pretend those didn't happen.
My whole life has become about secrets and I hate it!
In the end, Scott remains a workaholic, potentially neglectful parent, but one with a heart. Scott's dad grade? C+. C for Christmas, and plus because, well, he's Santa.